to this week's video cast. This week we're going to be talking about the way up is down. You know, I heard this story of a preacher who was invited to preach in a rural area. That area, the people there weren't very educated, they were peasants. And so they all came out excited to listen to this new preacher. And this preacher had a lot of education and he wanted to go up there and show off. And so when they called him on the podium, he stomped, with a lot of pomp and passion, and he just started preaching and he started sounding with high rhetoric, using very high words. And the poor peasants were just looking to themselves, saying, what is this man talking about? They just couldn't understand him. And so the preacher, when he noticed, that demeanor in the people, they just weren't getting what he was saying, he started sweating and he got lower and lower. Eventually he closed his Bible and just walked down the podium with shame. But there was a wise old woman sitting at the back, and she says, if that preacher would only have gone up the way he came down, he would have come down the way he went up. I'll say that again. If that preacher would have gone up the way he came down, he would have come down the way he went up. You see, one of my personal feelings or experiences with humility was my dad. I was blessed with a dad who exemplified humility for us. He was a man of means, but you would never know that just being in his presence. And so one day, I was sitting outside, with my dad. I was very young. I don't know why he was sitting with me, but we were watching the little children play. And there was this man, also a man of means, who was, courting my sister. He wanted to get married to my sister. So they were in that phase of let's feel him out. Let's see, my parents are, let's feel this guy out and see if he's a real deal. And so he came, with a lot of pomp, and he had this very expensive Mercedes Benz, and he parked it outside the house. The whole area was like, oh my God, look at that car. He came out feeling great, and he walked into our compound, into our yard, and he just walked past my dad and I. He just walked right and went upstairs to the house. And so my dad tapped me, being little, and he says, Richard, did you see that? He didn't even notice that we were sitting here. He didn't even notice. He didn't say hi. He just walked right past. Well, my sister is married today, but it's safe to say she's not married to that guy. But what this shows up is humility. See, God is so big, and one of the reasons He's so big is because He makes Himself so small, so easy that we can understand. That the high and the pomp always miss it, but the easy people get it. He came down, He was born in a manger. He could have come down from heaven with the carpet laid down, but He chose to be born in a manger. He was humble. And the Bible says of Jesus that today He's giving the name above every other name because He humbled Himself. And that's the lesson for us this week. Is if you want to go up, the way up is down. It has to be down. The Bible talks about it. He who humbles himself will be honored, will be exalted. And the man who exalts himself will be brought down. So if you want to go up, if you want to, do great things, the number one step will be to humble yourself. Don't take yourself too big. Just come down a little bit. Humble yourself. Thank you so much for watching this week. Have a great day. Jesus Christ loves you. I love you. Bye-bye.